Inside the CPCA, brought to you by the Canadian Professional Chuckwagon Association.
And welcome back. It is Greg Buchanan with Inside the CPCA, and joined tonight by 14-year veteran of the CPCA. It is Jamie Laboucane, just fresh off the CPCA Denim Ram Tough tarp sale last Tuesday, and he went for $17,000 at Davco Welding. And before we get into what you're doing right now to get ready for June and get ready for the start of the CPCA race season, go back to Tuesday, the tarp sale. A great relationship you've had with Davco Welding.
Yeah, Dave and Connie Foss have been our friends long before I was even started driving. They used to sponsor my dad on a smaller scale, and then they partnered with the Sidekicks early on with him, and then when he retired, they jumped right on board with me, and they took 1 year off when things got really tight, but they still helped out as much as they could whenever they could, and great people, great company. I'm just couldn't be happier to have them on board.
How important is a good tarp sponsor for anybody in the sport of chuckwagon racing?
Well, you need it. I mean, the way I look at it, whatever you can get for your tarp is what you set your budget on. And then anything you get with your prize money throughout the year, well, that's just bonus. But, you know, it's hard to rely on that bonus money. You got to, you know, plan and set your budget on what you can get in from your tarp sales before the start of the season.
And one thing that's unique with sponsorship of a tarp in chuckwagon racing is that relationship between the sponsor and the driver. It's unique because you have sponsorship opportunities, and businesses do in other sports. You can't really be part of that team in other sports, where you can be part of this team in many ways with yourself.
Oh yeah, for sure. We, you know, I went to Dave's birthday party this winter. You know, the family came out and we had a great time. And you know, they always come back to the barns and visit, and you know, Dave's helped me out with some of my designs on my wagon and different stuff like that. And you know, it stops just being you know, just sponsorship, and it starts to become a real partnership and a really good friendship that will last even beyond sponsorship. And I think that's huge.
And one thing, of course, of chuckwagon racing is that family atmosphere, and with the Laboucanes, your dad, a legendary driver, now retired, and it is really a family affair. I know you have two little ones now, and before you know it, maybe one will be an outrider. He has a few years down the road, but maybe talk about that family atmosphere of the Laboucanes.
Oh, it's unreal. You know, my mom and dad are helping me train all spring. My wife Dana, she's out in the barns helping me as much as she can, considering we got two kids. But you know, it's great to have her, knowing that she can step in if I need to, you know, step away and do an interview with you, Greg. Yeah. But it's a great atmosphere. I grew up in the sport, was running around playing on the wagons, and I'm starting to see my son doing that. So it's coming full circle. And I was even talking with some of the other young guys like Lane Tournier and stuff, and we were reminiscing about what we used to do around the wagons. And you know, we turned out okay. So I'm pretty confident in keeping my kids there as well.
Okay, we're sitting here in April. The season opens up in that first weekend in June. Maybe just quickly talk about some of the work that you're doing behind the scenes right now.
Yeah, we brought them in earlier a couple weeks ago now, and started putting shoes on them, so they're all ready to rock and roll. And then we started last Saturday, and we started in my Equisizer, which is an 80-foot machine that we can just really start them slow, and it's a great workout machine for these horses. And we're just kind of slowly working them into the process, barning them every day, and trying to get them fit and ready for the season.
And that is Jamie Laboucane, and that is this week's edition of Inside the CPCA. Of course, the CPCA race season begins that first weekend in June. For more of the CPCA, go on cpcaracing.com.